The Glorious World Cup, a Fanatic's guide for those who like their soccer with a side of kick-ass. I love that. We have David Henry Sterry in studio. How are you, David?
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Big fan of Ray Ratto, you claim.
Yeah,
well, we'll put a stop to that.
I don't think he's actually ever read Mr. Ratto. Alan Black is also here. Welcome,
Hello,
Alan, to Chronicle Live. Tell me a little about the changes in the World Cup this year going to the continent of Africa. I mean, this is huge. The African continent has never hosted an event like this at all, never had an Olympic Games. So how big of a deal will it be for them, and how much do you think that'll change the World Cup the way it unfolds?
It's a game changer. I don't know if you remember or watched the Olympics in China. You know, as a citizen, I don't really know much about China, but after that opening ceremony, China was on the map. I was blown away and slightly terrified by that opening ceremony. And I think that in South Africa, this is the biggest thing that's ever happened to them since really the fall of apartheid. And soccer is a huge part of their history. It's the game of the people. It helped actually to bring about the end of apartheid. And they are rabid. They're going mad there. It's an absolute fanatic's dream.
Which brings up the question, Alan, when you think of South Africa, the one name you think of is Nelson Mandela. He's an older man now, 91 years of age. I hear he's not in very good health. What are you hearing about that? Is Nelson Mandela, when South Africa plays Mexico to start the World Cup on Friday, is Mr. Mandela going to be there for that match?
I would expect him to be there. He was a key figure in bringing the World Cup to South Africa in the first place. And a fan, because in Robben Island, that's what prisoners played. They played soccer. They still have the goals there on Robben Island from the time when apartheid ruled South Africa.
That's going to be huge.
Yes.
I tease the audience by saying the World Cup is thought of as the greatest sporting event in the world. And I thought, is it really? Obviously, it is the greatest soccer or football tournament contested every 4 years in the world, but the Olympic Games is pretty big. Is it? I mean, how would you quantify that it's bigger than the Olympic Games? Financially, as far as viewership? Why is this the biggest sporting event the planet currently has, or is it?
Let's start with alcohol, shall we?
All right,
because there will be more alcohol consumed at this event than any Olympics in history. Right there.
Game, set, match.
Right. There it is.
That's
right
it.
No, in all seriousness, we were talking about this in the green room. Soccer is different than any other sport because you don't have to be 6'3". You don't have to weigh 290 pounds. You don't even have to have anything. All you need is a ball. You don't even need a ball. Pele played with a grapefruit when he was growing up. So, in fact, it's the game of the people. And you know, when I'm rooting for Michael Phelps, you know, it's not my whole country that I feel like is represented there. It's one guy. And in Brazil, if they flame out of the World Cup, the entire nation will go on Prozac.
Yes.
The drug companies are lining up now.
They will be making lots of money in the next month, that's for sure.
They will.
Now, you make a great point, and you mentioned the alcohol consumption because you don't root for the Olympics. As you say, I mean, you don't go, Carl Lewis, win another gold medal.
Yes,
I mean,
let's
it's
drink
nice
again.
and you feel a little patriotic twing. But it's not, when you go down to the North Beach or wherever you want it, when I go watch Team Italy play in the World Cup, the people there are just wild. So maybe the point you're making is it has the most emotional impact of any sporting event in the world?
I think the Olympics, they have this noble tradition that goes back to ancient Greece, and there's that higher athlete code that the Olympics give you. But soccer doesn't, come with that. Soccer comes, it's called the beautiful game, but it has some real ugliness in the other side to it. And it's about identity. So nations go up against each other with these great grudges, and insults against each other. Like Brazil, Argentina, for example. I mean, Brazil and Argentina, I think they trade more in insults than they actually do in commerce. And, this is the crux of, world soccer. There's an anxiety about, being a winner over another nation.
Well, how about the World Cup in 2006 when it was decided over a headbutt because he spoke about his sister,
His sister said nasty things about his sister.
They're going to bring up sisters in this race. Is that how it's going to be decided?
The World Cup has already hit full stride. I mean, I don't know if you saw on the internet today, but a guy from the Guardian in London found out who the referee for the England-USA game was, and
what's that, right? They're into the official thing?
He was suspended last year because of calls that the Brazilian Federation didn't like, and one of the owners called him, what was it? Oh, a shameless bastard.
That's right.
So
he
already
probably is.
Yeah, well, he may be, but that's how you start this tournament, and that's why it's big now. It's there's so much fascinating stuff off the field that it leads easily into the games themselves. And the other thing is the games matter so much that even Americans will go to it because they are label shoppers, and this is the best label
David,
in the
real
world.
quickly, Spain is favored, but they never do well in this. Who actually wins this tournament?
Spain will not win because they have a terrible inferiority complex as a country. They can't win. Brazil may win, but I'm picking Brazil USA final.
Oh, I like that one. Al, who do you like?
Argentina.
Argentina?
Yes.
Don't cry for me.
Yes.
Thank you, boys. You've convinced me. Drinking, it's the greatest sporting event in the world.